Gum is such a weird invention. At some point in history, people decided that chewing on the stuff without the intent of eating it can actually be kind of tasty. And you know what? They were right. Nothing hits quite as hard as the cold, frosty embrace of a brutally menthol spearmint piece of gum. If your gum doesn't taste like I'm taking a cold inhale of subzero antarctic air, then it's not minty enough. But that's not how it started, right? There was certainly a domino effect of chewing on things before we came to our overly processed minty gums that we're used to today. So let's chew our way into the history of chewing gum.
3-minute flicks. Entertaining, educating, and enlightening.
Interestingly enough, people were chewing on all sorts of things for thousands of years before gum was even thought up. Up to 9,000 years ago, Northern Europeans were chewing on the tar of birch trees for fun and medicinal benefit. The Mayans would also chew on a strange latex-like substance from trees called Chicle for quenching thirst and staving off hunger. The Aztecs actually also chewed on chicle, but had some interesting strict social rules regarding its use. Only children and single women could chew it in public, while married women and men could only chew it in private, for some reason. But modern chewing gum seems to trace back to the Native Americans chewing of spruce tree resin, a practice that would continue under the European settlers who came after. The first development to this practice would come in the 1840s when John Curtis would boil tree resin and cut it into strips, then roll it in cornstarch to make the first commercially available chewing gum. Within 10 years, Curtis would construct the world's first chewing gum factory in Portland, Maine. Gum now truly existed, but it turns out spruce resin wasn't exactly the best ingredient due to its poor taste and brittle texture. Eventually, chicle would re-enter the game. The strange rubbery material and chewy texture turned out to be a much better chewing experience than tree resin. The first chicle-based chewing gum company opened in the late 1880s and absolutely blew the old methods out of the water. Soon after its inception, the company was making gum that would be sold across the entirety of the United States. In 1891, the soon-to-be biggest name in chewing gum would enter the game, William Wrigley Jr. Wrigley started out as a soap salesman, then a baking powder salesman, and offered free packs of his company's own chewing gum to incentivize buying his products. Soon after, Wrigley would kickstart the Wrigley Spearmint and Juicy Fruit brands, standing out from the crowd due to their strong flavor profiles. This wasn't the only thing that brought them to gum stardom though, as the company would also send chewing gum to millions of Americans found in the phone books, as well as sending children gum on their birthdays. The quick rise of Wrigley brought about even stronger competition, and now chewing gum can be found in every supermarket, gas station, and purse the entire world over.
3-minute flicks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We create new videos weekly.